Shalom Mishpachim, welcome to His Narrow Bridge. Our time together today is meant to immerse ourselves in the Word of Yahweh. It is meant to be a personal time of connection to the Word for each of us. I will read each word as translated in English in an interlinear Hebrew Bible. These shows are pre-recorded, so I will be in chat when they air. Feel free to use the chat to post anything that comes to your mind as we read the word. We will begin with prayer, followed by time for each of us to say our own personal prayers. Our beloved friend Alan Horvath taught us, make Elohim number one on a list of one. We pray in the name of Elohim, which includes Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you, Elohim, for our lives and all you provide. We ask for a hedge of protection around our mishpacha as we pray and study. We love you dearly. We are your children. We come to you with questions as we seek our personal relationships with you. Please help us learn. If any darkness enters our time together, we ask you now to rebuke it. We will now listen to your word as we immerse ourselves in it and let it speak to us. John, chapter 17. Yeshua prays for believers. Yeshua spoke these things, and he lifted his eyes up to heaven and said, My Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, so that your Son might glorify you, just as you have given him authority over all flesh, that whomever you have given him, he will give to him life that is eternal. Now this is life that is eternal, that they might know you, that you are the Elohim of truth, and he alone whom you have sent, the Mashiach Yeshua. I have glorified you on earth. The work that you have given to me to do, I have finished it. And now glorify me, my Father, with you in that glory that I had with you from before the world was. I have made your name known to the sons of those men whom you had given to me from the world. They were yours, and you have given them to me, and they have kept your word. Now they have known that everything that you have given to me, I have given to them, and they received them. And they know that I have truly proceeded from your presence, and they believe that you have sent me. And I plead for them. It is not for the world I plead, rather for those whom you have given me, because they are yours. And everything that is mine is yours, and yours is mine, and I am glorified by them. Henceforth, I will not be in the world, and these are in the world, and I am coming to your presence. Kadosh, Father, keep them by your name, that which you have given to me, that they may be one as we are. Footnote 162, Kadosh, set apart, means that Yahweh and his word will never change. We can put our trust in him, knowing he will keep his word. See unity of the name of Yahweh in appendix. And footnote 163, a very key passage. Aramaic literally reads that Yahweh gave his name to Yeshua. Therefore, he has the name of his Father within him. And this is verse 11 in Aramaic. Mekil lo hezis be'alma ve'holein be'alma enun ve'na levatoch ote ana abba kadisha tar enun bashmoch hav deyav deyavt li denevun chad akena dachanen. Verse 12, I was with them while I was in the world. I have kept them in your name. Those whom you have given to me, I have kept, and not a man of them is lost except for the son of perdition, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. Footnote 164. Yeshua keeps them in Yahweh's name. So when we call upon Yahweh in Yeshua's name, we are calling on Yahweh for salvation. As the name of Yahweh is in Mashiach, so are we to have the name of Mashiach in us, which means that as followers of Yeshua, we are to walk according to his righteousness, observe Torah, and walk in the anointing of the Ruach HaKodesh as Mashiach demonstrated to us. Verse 13, and now I come to your presence, and these things I speak in the world, that my joy may be full in them. I have given to them your word, and the world hates them because they are not of the world, as I am not of the world. It is not that I plead you to take them from the world, but that you might keep evil from them. For they are not from the world, as I am not from the world. Father, sanctify them by your truth, for your word is truth. As you have sent me into the world, I also have sent them into the world, and I fear for their sakes. I sanctify myself so that they may also be sanctified by truth. And when it says for their sakes, footnote 165 says literally their faces. Verse 20, and it is not only for the sake of these I plead, but also for the sake of those who will believe in me by their word, that all of them may be one, as you, my Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. And the glory that you have given to me, I have given to them, that they may be one as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be perfected into one, that the world may know that you have sent me, and that you have loved them as you have loved me. Father, those whom you have given to me, I desire that where I am, they might also be with me, that they might see my glory that you have given to me, because you have loved me from before the foundations of the world. My just Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you have sent me. And I have made your name known to them, and I will confess it, so that the love with which you have loved me might be in them, and I might be in them.
you can't make conservative arguments without actually acknowledging the deep roots of conservatism. And that goes into Western civilization. And Western civilization, of course, is deeply rooted the last, almost 2,000 years in Christianity and its ethos. That, the reason that we have recognized the dignity of the individual is primarily because of Christianity. And that was actually just a tectonic shift in the way people saw other people. They now, through Christianity, saw people as created in the image of God, and that they had a soul, and that because of that, they have value and dignity. And then, of course, as that develops, then certain rights and ideas and things of this nature and the structure of society comes about. And so when we saw this battle taking place, and this was years, we realized, the cultural Marxists, the agents of political correctness, they're actually for decades, they've been aiming at the very foundation of Western civilization in America. Meanwhile, for the most part, a lot of us conservatives have been sort of arguing up here, and we've left our base unprotected. And if you don't have a strong foundation, you cannot build upon that. You are not even going to get a house on top of it, let alone, a skyscraper of a movement that we need. And so in all of this discourse, in all of this discussion, as we went into it, I had to come to the board and just say, look, if our mission is to be able to reach out to the middle and to folks even on the left, this isn't working. We have to be very different. We've got to try a lot of different things and figure it out. And we recognize that, politics is up here on the surface, but really it's that entertainment industry, the news media, the deep state, the education system, higher ed, religion, and family is what is actually shaping our children. And unfortunately, family, as far as a positive force for good, it has waned terribly in the last 3 to 4 decades. And again, I'm a product of that as well. Coming out of a divorced home and having just a mom to be able to rely on as an only child. It's, I see the data, but I also understand how it impacts the person and wounds the soul and what that then can do. One of the things that we quickly identified to our trouble or to our concern was anomie. And it's sort of what we see going on out there, that there's this growing social instability resulting from a breakdown of standards and values, personal unrest, alienation, uncertainty that comes from a lack of purpose or ideals. And this is running rampant. There's another phrase called millennialism, and that's not referred to just the millennial generation, but it's another one of political philosophy that talks about essentially that the individual becomes weary of civilization, that the individual young person particularly just wants to burn it all down. And now we're actually, we had been ringing the alarm bell, and I'll be honest, a couple of my board members, one of my board members, great guy, CEO of a publicly traded company and all of that, but he came to me about 2 years ago. He said, Devin, I have to admit something. And I said, yes? What's going on? What happened? You're not leaving? No. He said, you were talking all about it's culture, and how bad the culture is, and that this social chaos and breakdown is going to spread and intensify in the coming years. And he said, I'll be honest, I didn't really believe you. I still thought politics was our first and foremost way of fixing these problems. He said, but now, I'm seeing it with my grandchildren and their education and other things, just how deep the challenge is before us, and that it is a cultural fight and ultimately a spiritual fight. All culture rests on the beliefs of the people. That's what shapes it. Traditionally, our culture, whether the cultures of the West, have all rested upon the Judeo-Christian ethic, as well as, of course, the Greco-Roman thinking, legal structure, and philosophy, and all of that. But what we see is anomie running wild through society. some of the big picture results of where we've gone with all of this. And again, these are important, especially for you to consider when you're speaking to somebody who's 40 and under, particularly a Gen Z and a millennial, but oftentimes too, if you're speaking to somebody in their early 20s or in their later teen years, they're still wrestling with what they believe and all of these things. And these ideas are having a very big impact on what that generation looks like as far as its education, its outlook, all of those things. So what we see out there, taking a quick look from, find 63% of high school seniors are not proficient in reading whatsoever. And actually, if you go and actually dig deeper into the numbers, and this is coming from the NAEP, kind of the gold standard for the nationwide picture of how education is working. When you actually drill in and you look for the number of young high school seniors who are advanced in their reading, their writing, their knowledge of history, almost every category is in single digits. So if you want to know how many high school seniors over the years, and this has been steady for a good decade or so, if you want to really understand that, you find very quickly that 20%, maybe only 10% of young high school seniors and those who have recently graduated can really engage with the ideas and political philosophy and history and all of those things based on the knowledge that they have in them. And that's troubling. So there is, to be able to reach people, there's an educational component that goes with it. And I'll get more to that because it's important how you approach that educational work. Additionally, millennials, having grown up in broken homes, they don't see the value of marriage in these things. And of course, the culture reinforces that. What does marriage matter? So what we're seeing now is we have 64% of childbearing millennials have had one or more out of wedlock birth. And if you go back to Daniel Moynihan, he was ringing the alarm bell because birth rates for the African American communities back in the 50s were going up, getting into the double digits. And he saw where that would go. It would lead to social chaos, the breakdown. If family is the foundation of society, which I believe it is, if family breaks down, the ripple effect goes through every institution, every cultural item, our art, our videos, all of these things, and does bring things down. And that's because of the psychological effect on a lot of these kids. It's fascinating, actually. If you look at some of the pop culture hits right now, there's a female sort of, I don't know what, a tech electronica rapper, something like that, called K Flay. And she's a bit not for the kids, but she's a little bit crass and things like that. But the lyrics are fascinating. And she refers often to when she was, I think, about 10 or 12, and her parents got divorced, and she's not right since then. And it's fascinating to see this starting to pop up. Another one, rapper, sort of like an Eminem right now, goes by the name NF. What's fascinating is how dark his lyrics are and his music is, yet he never swears, and he openly talks of God and Christianity and that's where his hope lies. But it's dark. Same thing with K Flay. And if you go through all of these, it's very dark as far as what the souls of these young poets are presenting to the world and what they're grappling with. And this is all part of that problem. We've got now 44% millennials prefer to live in a socialist country. 76% of 18 to 29-year-olds believe right or wrong depends on the situation. 60% of millennials agreed that the Constitution goes too far in allowing hate speech in America and should be rewritten. This is an image from Imgur, which is just an image sharing platform that a lot of young people are on. Actually, demographics are changing there, but they also link up some of the posts from Reddit, which if you have a Gen Z, they're on Reddit, they're on Discourse, they're on Snapchat, all of these things. And This really sums up a lot of the pain and the work and what's happening out there, and why I would argue these kids are looking at socialism as a solution. So here we have a young girl. She has no wedding ring. She's probably 18, if I could take a guess. And she writes, been in labor for 7 hours and haven't progressed at all. And my ex hasn't showed up, staying positive. And you see this sort of thing all the time, especially the more you engage the younger audiences and put ideas out there. It is a very much lost, lonely, and adrift generation. But you just think about this. Think of this girl. You see the fear in the eyes, and she has nothing going forward. Who is she going to turn to? I mean, God bless her for having a baby, but who is she turning to for support? What does she have out there? The man isn't even showing up to take responsibility, to show his duty for what he has taken part of, and the child that's going to be brought into this world. And so, do you think that, if we're arguing free market, limited government, 10th Amendment, Ninth Amendment, she doesn't care about any of that. What she is bothered by is the fear and the anxiety that is in her soul and in her being, as far as looking at how do I take care of a child when I can barely take care of myself. And that notion, that idea, that sense is what you've got to drill into and understand about the younger generation. What we're left with is loneliness, depression, feeling adrift, bad relationships, anger, incivility, boredom, and of course, narcissism.
For more information about these videos, look at the video description and click more. You can then have links to my YouTube channel and the YouTube playlist, which has all the Aramaic English New Testament videos, Bible Hub links, and Odiote. So this is useful because you can click a chapter and go word by word through the scriptures and get details about each word and where they are used throughout the Bible.